Let me tell you a painful truth. The thing that's running today often stops running tomorrow. And the thing everyone ignores often becomes the next headline. Sounds wrong? Good. That's why most beginners miss it. If you're a beginner, you're not alone. You see green candles. You see reels. You see news anchors shouting. And your brain says, I'm late. I must enter now. That feeling, it's human. It's normal. And it's exactly what markets often exploit. Imagine two restaurants. One is packed. Big line outside. Instagram reels. Best food in town. The other is quiet. No hype. No crowd. Now here's the twist. The crowded one typically raises prices. And service gets worse because they're overloaded. The quiet one sometimes improves quietly. New chef. Better ingredients. And one day, people discover it. Line starts forming. In markets, prices like that restaurant line. When everyone is already there, you're often paying the crowd premium. Here's the concept in one line. Markets don't reward what happened. They often price what people expect. So the past winner is already in the price. The headlines are already in the price. The excitement is already in the price. And that's why the future can feel backward. What's popular can become expensive. What's ignored can stay cheap for longer, but sometimes becomes the surprise. This is super counterintuitive, especially if you think like machine learning. ML learns patterns from the past. Last time this happened, this came next. But markets are tricky, because once a pattern becomes obvious, people trade it. And when many people trade it, it often weakens. Not always, but often. So the market is like a game where the rules adjust when players learn the rules. Now let's talk about what many people call big players. Institutions, funds, large investors. They often can't buy or sell instantly like retail. They need liquidity, meaning enough buyers and sellers to enter and exit without moving price too much. So what typically happens? Step 1, something is boring, silent, no headlines. Step 2, some big money starts building positions slowly, not because it's trending, but because they expect a future improvement. Step 3, later, reality starts matching the story. Numbers improve, narrative builds. Step 4, headlines arrive, influencers arrive, retail arrives. Now liquidity is everywhere. And then sometimes, the very crowd that comes late becomes the exit liquidity. Again, this doesn't happen every time, but this cycle is common enough that you should understand it. Here's a mental model you can remember. Headlines are usually phase 3, not phase 1. Phase 1, quiet accumulation / silent improvement. Phase 2, early move, still low attention. Phase 3, headlines, public excitement. Phase 4, crowded trade, fragile expectations. Most beginners enter in phase 3 because that's when it feels safe. But often, the risk-reward is already worse. Important point, a great asset can still be a bad buy at a bad price. And a boring asset can become interesting at the right price. Beginners often mix these up. They see great company / great sector / great commodity, and they assume great investment. But markets care about expectations. If expectations are too high, even good news can disappoint. If expectations are too low, even small improvement can surprise. That's why price matters, not just the story. So what should you do with this idea without chasing tips? Use questions, not predictions. When something is in every headline, ask, what part of this is already priced in? Who is buying now, retail or institutions? Is this move driven by fundamentals or just attention? If the news is amazing, what could go wrong? When something is silent, ask, is there any real improvement happening under the surface? Or is it silent because nothing is changing? What would need to be true for it to become interesting? These questions keep you rational. They slow down FOMO. One more thing. Sometimes momentum continues longer than people expect. So the goal is not to be contrarian for ego. The goal is to be aware of the cycle. In many cases, the market rewards patience and punishes urgency. If you can control one thing as a retail investor, it's your emotions. Not speed, not size, emotional control. So remember, headlines often mean attention is peak, and attention can be expensive. If you want, I can make a follow-up video on how to spot phases without overthinking, using simple signals like volume, narratives, and expectations. If this helped, hit like, subscribe, and comment one word, phases, so I know you want part 2. Educational only, not financial advice.